So like Ms. Avi said, we have had the experience the last 2 weeks at Hilex Controls. Hilex Controls has 45 factories in Hutch worldwide, and there are 3 local factories. They are located in Hudson, Litchfield, and Rochester Hills. They make door modules for cars, and their main they primarily are for Ford and Chrysler. Our problem that we were faced with was to find a way to make recycling there more efficient and cost-effective. We found 8 solutions to this problem, and we will share with you our top 3. But first, I'd like to share with you what we noticed while we were there. In Hudson, they use 3 times more cardboard than they do in Litchfield. A person throws 1 box at a time into the baler for 3 shifts, and fork trucks carry the boxes 12 feet, unload, and another one picks it up. Our first solution that we came up with was to purchase returnable containers. This is the most logical because it gets to the root of the problem and eliminates the need for cardboard recycling completely. This will take time to switch over to, and the containers are expensive. A strength to this would be that it is safer and sturdier, and it would decrease personnel costs. We also found weaknesses to this solution, and it would cost more to ship them, and the company would not get money for recycling cardboard anymore. During our research process, we went to the Litchfield plant and found that they use reusable containers. And then we also talked with the plant manager from Hudson, and he said that they may need to look into new suppliers that would use these returnable containers. Thank you, Carmen.
Thank you. We also found that a single piece of cardboard is being handled 5 times before it's being recycled, and we figured there must be a better way to do that. So for our next solution is 2 small balers in the Dodge Ram section, but a short name for that is the DS section. We believe that adding 2 small balers in the DS section on the factory floor would cut out 2 times of the cardboard. 2 times of the cardboard is currently being handled, and this solution could also be free through Union Pallet. As well, we can get any size of baler for free as long as Union Pallet gets the cardboard. And this would mean that the large baler would be used only a fraction of the time. And instead of having 1 person load the baler for 3 shifts, we will only have to have 1 person for 1 shift to load it. And it would be saving personnel costs. So, stand out figures.
All right. So another part to the Plan B is gravity roller systems in the DS section of the factory. During our time there, we did some research and we figured out that most of the cardboard that is being used in the factory is coming from that section. So we would also put 2 lanes of gravity conveyor belts. They would be up by where the fork trucks normally sit now, and they would replace 2 of the 4 fork trucks that go back and forth a 12-foot gap between the storage area and the DS section of the factory. We thought this was a little unnecessary to go 7 miles an hour, 12 feet, 3 boxes high. So we wanted to put empty boxes going down 1 lane of the rollers, and then the finished products going out another. So the way the Plan B would happen is the 2 balers in the section, or in the DS section, would, whenever an empty box is, or whatever, a cardboard box is empty, instead of going into a bigger cardboard box like it is now, it would go into the baler, and a line manager, or as they're called in Hilex, a dandori, would come around to the baler, press the button, and wire it, whatever needs to be done, and then tell one of the 2 remaining fork truck drivers that it needs to be picked up and put into storage, or into shipping. So this would save the company $680,657 a year, and that is only that's personnel, equipment, and that's the drivers That's including the cost of the 2 conveyor belts and the balers themselves, if they aren't free, which they should. And I'll give it on to Amber.
Thank you. So our third solution that we had to the problem is a fork truck attachment with a dumpster. So right now they are using a large, fairly new baler that's in the back of their company. The fork trucks bring large boxes full of cardboard to the baler, and a person is at the baler for 3 shifts throwing cardboard boxes in 1 box at a time. We propose that we use these dumpsters. These dumpsters will be placed around the factory floor to be picked up when they're full by the fork trucks. The fork trucks will bring them to the baler and dump them out as shown in that picture. So we also suggest that a funnel be added to the baler that the company has now, so that all the material of cardboard goes into the baler at the same time, nothing gets on the floor. And we realized by eliminating the position of the person throwing the cardboard in that someone still needs to check on the baler. So we suggest that a supervisor be have that added to their job list, where they go check on the baler every once in a while, wire it, rewire it when as needed, and tell the fork truck drivers when to pick up the bales. So this will solve our solution by eliminating the person standing there at the position of the person standing there at the baler throwing boxes in 1 at a time. And it's also much more time efficient. It's much faster, much easier to have the cardboard dumped in from this dumpster than the person standing there throwing boxes in. We recommend that the company buys 10 of these dumpsters, and we figured savings from buying these dumpsters. The savings for the first year are just over $136,000, and for every year after that, $170,000, around there. And these savings come from eliminating the position of the person, so just from personnel costs. Another strength to this plan is that these dumpsters are larger than what the company is using now to haul the cardboard around. So there's more capacity, more time it takes to fill them up. And there are some weaknesses and threats with this plan that we realize. And that it's a large upfront cost for the company to buy these dumpsters and attach the funnel. And also, the employees will need to better sort whatever material that goes into these dumpsters, because anything that gets into the dumpsters will be getting into the baler, and anything that's not cardboard will deduct from the price that they get for the cardboard. And it also creates extra steps for the fork truck drivers to take. They have to go all the way back to the baler to dump it in and then bring it back to the line. And as I said, it's better that these are bigger, but that also means they have to find more space on the factory floor to put them. So that could be trouble. And this is the easiest solution of ours to implement for the factory, and it's very efficient. John?
Thank you, Amber. Additionally, we wanted to help the planet do more recycling, earn a better environmental audit score. So we surveyed employees to find out what most recyclable items that they do, and it came out to plastic, aluminum, and paper. So we asked Hilex to see if they can put recycling bins inside the offices, break rooms, and we have our model over here, the cake model, or graham cracker model, one of the two, to show what we will put in our purpose to put in the break rooms and offices. Here's.
All right. We'd like to thank everyone for coming today. We'd like to thank all the judges. We'd like to thank Mrs. Avi for recruiting us, and Mr. Tebow, the Hilex for hosting us, and all the ladies in the HR department and in the offices. We'd like to think that these solutions, when put together, can really make something great for the company and really do a lot of good things. So we're open to questions now. Whatever you guys have.
Nicely done, students. Amber, I can't imagine being your age and being able to stand up and talk to 150 people. Very nice. One question I have, when you go back to the company and their leadership and you're proposing something that's actually going to eliminate a position, I noticed one of the things that you said if you recommended doing that, it would actually eliminate a position. How do they respond to that?
So when we say eliminate position, it's really where they can be moved to another place in the factory and they can be retrained where they don't have to hire in someone else to take that position.
It's very impressive. Now, did you make the trip to all 3 factories then, or just the 2?
We were in Hudson for the 2 weeks, and then we went to Litchfield one of the days.
You did too. And did you determine why the one factory had so much more use of cardboard than the other?
They're the same company, but they kind of make different products.
Different product line.
Yeah. And it's, one takes more cardboard and supplies from outside countries, and they're more imported goods.
Very good.
So they use more cardboard.
And then did you create the blueprint for the redesign of the factory layout, or?
This is the DS line. This is the current blueprint, and then we just kind of pointed to where the new stuff would be. We had an engineer from the factory help us out with that.
Very good. And then when you talked to them about the second plan that you presented, where there was a potential cost savings of over $600,000, did they seem pretty interested?
They actually seemed a little more interested in the Plan C, which was the dumpster thing. They were really interested in that.
Nice job. At the beginning of your presentation, you mentioned there were 8 solutions that you had developed. Is there?
Yes, those are listed in the business plans on a separate page, all of them, and some of them were more on the expensive end, so we didn't share those as much as like the more logical and more cost-effective ones, because that was part of our problem, was the cost effectiveness of the plan too.
Did you present all 8 to the company?
We shared with them what they were, and they were a little broad. So yes, we did share with them, but we did not go into in-depth detail about them.
Very good, Jeff. Within your Plan C, the first year savings then is primarily from the standpoint of the personnel, more so than because you've got the upfront costs of the
Yes, and the savings include both the cost of the funnel to attach it and also all 10 dumpsters.
Okay. And it does make sense that they've got separate plants and separate suppliers and everything else, so I get that. You're trying to work within the confines of what they're dealing specifically within that plan, so good job.
Nice presentation, well done. My question would be on the reusable containers. You had mentioned the savings that could occur, with the work trucks. Any idea on maybe how long it would take before you start saving money on the reusable containers if you switch over to that?
We thought about this, and there wasn't, they didn't give us enough numbers to figure out exactly when or if they would be able to save up for these. But we figured if they went with Plan B, then the savings from that could eventually save up. We don't know approximately how much time, but it would be a long process.
And one of the problems with that solution was the plant in Litchfield uses those containers, but they always have since they opened. Hudson opened later and for some reason didn't use those reusable containers, so they've always been with that cardboard situation, and it's harder to switch over to the reusable.